They're guys. They do magic. They are the Magic Guys.
Oh yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 161 of the Magic Guys. We are here and we are ready. Up to my left, we got Nick K.
Welcome to the show, friends.
Oh yeah. Up to my right, we got Doug Kahn.
Salutations, kindred spirits.
Doug Diddy Kahn, and I'm Josh Nobito. Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Oh yeah, it's a fun one today.
Dougie Fresh. I used to get that back in the day.
Dougie Fresh.
You know Dougie Fresh? You know this one?
I that's a first for me, but I'm not declining that nickname.
Oh, man, well, maybe your hip hop skills are not as deep as they need to be, Mr. Norbito.
I know. If only I knew rap history back in the 50s, I'd be up to speed.
You're also talking to the whitest guys in Magic. We literally will get, like, every New Year's Eve when we watch the fireworks, we get sunburn.
Yeah. Well, we're the whitest guys when it comes to rap, but we might be kind of mid-tanned in terms of Magic. Like,
yeah.
Also, this Dougie Fresh wasn't all that, so there's really like not a lot of reason that you would know him. He might have had like one or two hits.
Name one.
Like the only person who has less hip hop knowledge than Norbito is me. I just know they called me Dougie Fresh.
Oh, they called you Dougie Fresh. All right.
Yeah.
Well, look.
Hey, Dougie Fresh, what's up?
I like what's happening. And I also like our friends in the comments. We've got Tim Askin, John Prentice, Scotty P, the boys, Dragoteer1. Welcome, everyone. It's been a fun week for me in doing some shows and some corporate gigs. For the first time in a while, I did a corporate event and the guy went to give me back the deck and they exploded in his hand and went everywhere. You know, like when you have one of those moments. But I just so didn't care that, like, everyone was like, oh my God, it was like, you know, 5 50-year-old, you know, corporate dudes. And then that guy does that. And I kind of broke character and was like, Jesus Christ. And then everyone just lost it. Because I could kind of tell, like, that's what the vibe they were going for, like, make fun of each other.
Well,
anyway.
How about a professional tip there regarding extra decks? Do you keep an extra deck on person when you're
absolutely
holding an event for,
Yeah, and I even tried
gimmick deck. Carry any?
Sorry, say that last part again.
Do you carry gimmick decks at all?
I carry. Look, I'll be straight with you guys. I carry one deck regular and one deck in stack. That's what I carry.
I see.
That's all I really need.
Yeah.
So, because one deck I'll do a lot of signing cards, Mercury folding cards, and things like that, and one will stay intact, and I'll do all the mnemonic work and all that kind of fun stuff.
In essence, that is your gimmick deck.
Mnemonic deck. Pretty much. Yeah. It's an index gimmicked deck, basically.
Yeah.
Basically. But yes. How about you, Nick? You were just telling us a little bit in advance, but what's going on?
With decks, I carry 2. I like to have.
we know all about your decks. You went to a concert, right? You went to a concert, and did you do Magic there? Tell us.
It's been phenomenally busy for myself. I haven't had a day off in a couple of weeks. My first day off will be tomorrow, which will just be ultimately laundry day and preparing for the next 10 gigs after that. I had
imagine that. Non-stop Magic, just living the Magic life.
I did a really awesome gig on the weekend for the Locksmith Guild.
Interesting.
Yeah, alongside my good friend Neil Allen, who's a locksmith I met many years ago, and he's a great friend and someone who's been kind enough to hire me whenever they do events. It was a 6-hour rove as part of a type of trade show thing they did.
That is work.
It was great, man. Honestly, it was 6 hours. I felt like I was there for 20 minutes. It was that much fun.
Really?
Like it was honest to God, it had so much fun, and they were such cool guys and gals. And we ran amok the entire day. Like, it was an absolute blast. And I'm so thankful to have been a part of it. It was very, very cool. But I basically finished that gig, got home, had a bite to eat, took a nap, and then went and performed again later that evening at my residency for another 3 hours. So that was a 9-hour Magic day.
That
Yeah.
is like, that's got to be mentally exhausting.
You
If
know,
not physically exhausting.
you would think so if it was a laborious type of existence, but like when you love what you do, it ain't work, man. It just ain't.
Yeah, true story.
Cap. That's Cap. No, you're right. You're right.
But still,
Wow.
9 hours of performance time is high level operations.
Well,
Yeah, I've had agents in the past where I've been hired for events, and like I go to the client, I go, well, that's my hour. They go, oh, can you do one more? I go, yeah, I can do one more. And then I do another hour. Yeah, and then I do another hour, and then I'm like, well, that's my second hour. They go, do you want to do one more? And I go, yeah, I'll do one more. And then, and no joke, 4 hours later, and what I loved about it most was the agent who'd hired me was just like, how do you have 4 hours of magic? And it's like, I don't even know.
That's a good point too.
And then
It's funny.
I do have a world record because I was part of the 85-hour magic show. Like the we did a Guinness World Record, which we did a non-stop magic show for 85 hours. I don't remember exactly how many hours I did, but I was there for a lot of them. I think I did 20 in total, like of magic. So when someone calls and says, "Hey man, can you do 10 minutes at wherever?" I'm like, "Yeah, man, I can do 10 minutes." That's
Wait a
fine.
minute. You did 20 hours of magic?
I don't remember the exact amount, but I also emceed a lot. So I kind of did over the 20 hours that I was there because we did things in like 4-hour breaks. So yeah,
Holy moly.
It was a good time. It was a good time.
Was it live or online or
I
in
think
your
we,
mom's basement?
well, yeah, no, it was at a magic bar out here in Melbourne, and that's not the most amazing bit. The most amazing bit was this particular lover of magic, whose name is Tay, and she was there for the entire 85 hours.
Whoa.
Like she came with like food, snacks. We brought her gifts. She like was so prepared. She had wet wipes so she could clean herself and everything. And she did a full. She was the one person who was there from start to finish. It was a pretty phenomenal experience.
I do remember it making the news. I remember seeing you guys on the news here in Brisbane doing it, and it just looked like it seemed like it was a show people could just rock up to and watch at any point.
Yep.
Right, like at any point in the show.
What was the record before that? Like, did you have to figure it out?
I believe it was 75 prior. Yeah.
I bet they're mad.
I was trying to make a joke of someone who does shows too long, and it didn't come to mind.
There was
most circle show street performers. That's who.
Yeah, I do believe that Richard
That was a
Bellas
breakdancing show.
Yeah, exactly.
I do believe Richard Bellas did a 50-hour magic show solo. I believe.
Ay.
Yeah.
Ay, ay, ay.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, let me ask let me ask the pod this: would you guys be interested in a 24-hour Magic Guys podcast? Because that we've never done. I remember the Decking Around podcast guys would do it once a year. We've never done that. So tell us what you think. I mean, that would be insane. But you know, who knows? Who knows? So we called. Yeah, I know. I'm looking at the other guys. And we're like, shut the hell up.
No, I think we could do that.
I think so.
I think we could do it in shifts. You know what I mean? Like we could do it in shifts in where if all three of us did 24 hours, that'd be pretty epic. But we could probably do it where you take.
That has to be at least 2 people on, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
we could stagger the breaks and give people a chance to rest.
Yeah. We'll discuss the logistics about this. We'll get a coffee sponsor to help us power through this.
And a bunch of guests. That's what we need. We need like
And
10 guests.
Abundance of guests, sections.
Yeah.
Get all those guys that got on that Guinness World Series. Get them on here and we'll all just trick it up for a day.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll just do another hour and another hour until we get the record. We'll see how far we can go.
Well, we could take the first shift, Doug, because of the time difference. You know what I mean? Like
right.
you could have a good, like we could figure this
your
out.
overnight.
Yeah. And when we're tired, we just need someone from the UK because that will be their daytime when we're all asleep.
Absolutely.
It could happen. You guys let us know. No one in the comments really seems to be interested except for Ed saying that sounds like torture for y'all. Yes.
Right. Yep.
But is torture not art, you know? I don't know.
We
Doug,
need to
how
suffer
did-
for our art. And speaking of suffering for our art and the creativity we do, the purpose of this show this week is the theme of spitballing. A few weeks ago, we decided to create a whole new sector or segment of the show in which you guys just throw us sort of half-baked ideas. And we kind of came up with this by accident when we interviewed our good friend Taylor Hughes. And we decided to kind of keep rolling with it. And then we thought, let's dedicate an entire episode to spitballing. And I do believe we have a speak pipe, right, Josh?
We do. So let's introduce the segment right now. Spitballing. Oh, yeah. Oh, Doug's going to do a real life one. I like what's happening here.
Thing's broken.
All right, we're going to play the first one, but we would love for you guys watching now to put your half-baked magic ideas in the chat for us to also, we're going to attack some as well.
Absolutely. And even if you're just sort of like sitting in the comfort of your home, or if you're listening to this live in any sort of capacity, look around you, choose an object and go do something with a blank. So by all means, pop them in the comments. Looking forward to
that
it.
too.
We look forward to sort of like freestyling whatever you guys can throw at us. So let's start with our first speak pipe.
Here we go. This one is from Seth, the magic of
All right,
Seth.
so spitballing here. I am working on a prototype right now of gimmicked story dice, where each side of the die, instead of having dots for a number, has a different picture, and you roll a set of them, and then you tell a story based on whatever picture lands face up. I have a prediction idea and a drawing duplication idea, but I'm just wondering, what else would y'all do if you had a set of gimmicked story dice? Cheers.
Okay,
Gimmicked story dice. So just to confirm, it's a set of dice. He didn't say how many, so you could technically have unlimited dice, which all have different pictures. You're rolling it. What are we doing? I can already see Nick's gears turning.
Okay,
Let's go.
so I did something not too dissimilar from this, in which I themed this whole routine. It was awesomely ridiculous. Anyone who's seen it, I just need to say the word "dick man." And if you've seen my act, I retired this routine a few years ago now. But the premise was that we had like a Mad Libs. And for those of you that don't know what Mad Libs is, it's stories with a series of incomplete sentences. And then what I did was I took suggestions from the audience. I had different colored papers. I had about 9 or 10 papers in different colors, and they would write down suggestions. On each paper would have something like, think of a color, name a location, write a verb, write an adjective, and they would write all these things down. And then people would take the colors out and then complete the story. And it resulted in a very hilarious confabulation at the end. So sticking with the theme of storytelling, you could make this a Mad Lib routine, and the dice could ultimately dictate what the outcome would be for the story, and you could tie it together with a confabulation. Now, for reference, I took it to the extreme where we did this story, and there was a front cover to the story, like all storybooks should have, and it was one that we colored in. So we did a color match routine on top of a confabulation. While that person was writing in the confabulation, aka the Mad Lib, I was doing a color match routine where we colored in this superhero, because the story was called Hero of the City. And in that routine, we had to go, oh, whatever's written on the purple piece of paper will be the logo on the hero's chest. And they would grab it and like, what's the logo? And it's like, cock. What? Like a penis? Like, yeah. And I'm like, okay. And then I would draw a penis on the chest, and then we colored this whole thing in. And then when we read the confabulation, it matched. Not only that, I had a comic book, and the comic book also matched. And then I would take off all my clothes, and I would be wearing the exact same costume that we all sort of thought of. And then I would have my assistant come out with a leaf blower, and he would like, shh, like this. And I would have because I had a cape, and my cape would like flutter away.
A lot going on there.
And then I ran around the theater with my arms up, pretending I was flying, and would like climb over people and stuff. But I'm too old and fat for that now.
Yeah, but at that point, you got to just rig up the flying rig and take air. If you're going to go that far, you might as well just go on, sail it home. Oh man.
Yeah. But I think that's what
as
I
a
would
confabulation story idea. That's a great one. Spitballing.
I like that. Storytelling, roll a dice, and away you go. Because you could even have it where even if you use real dice, the mixture of real dice and so forth, or if you had dice where you knew what the outcome was going to be, and you just go, I want you to take it in a cup and then slam it down on the table, and whatever's face up is like what we'll do. And you can stay here to affirm that. But I'm going to write my prediction now. And once you get that information, you could sort of like, there's no way he could have known it was under the cup. So there's a lot of ways you can take this. But I love.
Vito, you got an idea for this dice trick? Because I got an idea that might work, but I'm wondering if you got something in your mind, Mr. Josh.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think outside of these great ideas that are already there. So like, obviously, yeah. So aside from that, I'm thinking, let's say the dice are genuine. You could use it as a roll the dice, see the picture, and then I want you to, after seeing that picture, give me a word that's like completely different to that. And so you could create, like if you have the master prediction chest, for example, you could predict, 6 words that are completely different to what they rolled, but still predicted.
Everyone needs to bust out their master prediction chest.
Yeah.
But yes.
Yeah. Or it could be, I'm thinking hieroglyphics, some kind of hieroglyphic story, and maybe you have a video shown where you went into a cave and you found these hieroglyphics, and then it shows in the video that it's like the exact same ones that were landed on. You can make it like a multimedia type thing in the show. Or the other thing is maybe like one of them that, like maybe it's like a story about how you got, like it's like a trip you went on. And so it's showing, again, this is if you can control the outcome of what it lands on, but it could be like telling a story and eventually leading to you getting your first tattoo, and then the last dice that's rolled is the picture, and then you show on your arm like that you have that tattoo, maybe. Like, these are just the spitballing things that just fire off in my head so far.
I was thinking you could do some paddle move routines with these dice, something akin to the Sax die routine, where even 1 or 2 were side by side. I don't know what would be on these dice, but you could logically construct a story as you show the dice, and the objects change, maybe not visually, but subtly. There are visible changes you can do with even 1 or 2 dice, and this avenue might be worth pursuing. Sax dice routine, SACHS, if you want to look it up.
Yeah, well, those are 3 pretty good ideas, but I think if the notion is, I mean, we're leaning into it being storytelling because it is a storytelling deck. So I kind of think that it being a storytelling thing, there's a lot of narrative you can have there. And the cool thing about it is that whoever you're performing for, you can make the story about whatever pertains to them and their business. They could be farmers, and, we cultivate oranges. I'm like, great, here's a story about farming. Oh, we are in IT security, and you tell a story about security, and you have the dice depict something to do with that particular realm. So there's a lot of creative leisure as far as presentation goes, but you could use the same method to apply to it all. So this has a lot of legs, man.
I would encourage you to think this too. When you produce your kit, produce a blank one, which will allow you to vanish the objects on the dice at really a nominal extra charge when you produce this kit. So that's a thought. Do a hands-on moment, give it someone holds the die that's supposedly printed, and now that has vanished, and then what? It's an avenue.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
And then of course you've got the approach of like mental die, where you could be like, take any one of them you want, roll it, have a look. Out of the 50 different pictures that exist on the 6-7 different nights, I think I'm feeling warmth. I'm feeling I'm feeling you're looking at the sun, right? Maybe that's something.
It's you could construct the images so that they're fishable, have an anagram system that allows you to decipher, there's systems for like zodiac signs. So if these were the 12 zodiac signs and they rolled that, you could discern it that way. Not a bad idea. Zodiac dice, huh? Is there 12 signs, or is there how many zodiac signs are there?
Actually don't know, because I'm
not a mentalist. I just
not a female.
It's not like we have Google right in front of my face.
That's true.
Yeah. But look, these are all really good ideas, and please pursue it. And you're welcome to come back and ask us again. We do have the post and roast channel on our Discord as well. So you can put together an idea, post it, we'll roast it, and offer any sort of feedback we can to make sure it's an awesome piece of magic. But again, thank you for sharing that beautiful piece. Shall we move on to the next one?
Yeah, so we've got a few rolling in, and that's good. Everyone keep putting your ideas or just random objects in your house you couldn't think of what to do magic-wise with it. All right, this one I'm going to read out slowly so we get the gist and the listeners get the gist. This one's from Dragotair 1. Okay, there are 3 selections. 2 of the selections are signed, 1 on front, 1 on back. The signatures are then fused onto the same card. I have that part, but I want a 3rd selection to appear on the signed card. So we're talking about cards. And there are 3 selections. So 2, and are they all signed? I guess is what we need to.
You do
decipher.
anniversary waltz, and then make another signature appear on the card.
I have a routine I do that I share in my lectures that I think would be really good. So it's not going to be a 3rd sign selection though. Okay. So you can do an anniversary. I think that as far as anniversary waltz goes, it's great because this is basically written already. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. But if you want a 3rd equation in there, I suggest that you don't sign the 3rd card. And what you do instead is you tear the corner of a card. Okay. I do a routine in which I have a signed card, and I do it as part of an ambitious card routine. And then I get them to hold that signed card in between their hands, and I explain one way of making the card unique is by signing it. The other is by putting a very unique tear into it. I then tear the corner of a card. They take the piece. The last corner, the corner piece I have, I vanish, and I do this as that signed card is in between a spectator's hands. I then say, if it's in between your hands, would that be a good trick? And they go, that'd be awesome. They then open their hands up to see the corner piece is not there, but the card is. And I explain. And there's a lot of byplay that I have as far as like whatever reaction I get from them. But I ultimately explain, let me explain. If in between your hands is the playing card, then in between the playing card is the missing piece. Feel the playing card. They then feel the playing card and there's a lump in it. They tear open the playing card. Inside is a corner piece, which is a perfect match to the one I just tore. I think if you did 2 selections and the 3rd one, you tore the corner, which appears inside of that card, you have a killer effect there, Drago.
Whoa, that's great. Let me... Okay, so we got a bit of extra info from Drago as he was saying that. So one, he was saying, so the 3rd card isn't signed, it's just picked, so that would work perfectly.
That, actually.
And then he also, I didn't also see, but he had another comment under his first one, and he had some ideas too. He's like somehow shine a flashlight through the card and have the 3rd selection appear in the bottom corner, maybe split a card, write what selection I want to force and glue it back down. So he was kind of on...
Let me speak on that last idea. I have it in my hand right here. Okay, so if you could split cards and could make an anniversary waltz with this card, which has a miniature revelation in her hand, that is a way that you could make a 3rd card appear on the back of 2 signed cards. There's one.
Yes. Yeah, I like it. I like it.
This, by the way, is from the weapons deck, and this deck offers a selection of cards revealing other cards. The listener at home won't see that miniature queen on the other queen. See if I can grab another one out here.
We've got that whole deck that RZ Win brought out, right? Where they're all Queen of Hearts, but the queen is holding another card. Nice. That's cool. That's fun.
These picture cards have revelations showing other cards. So, for example, the King of Hearts is holding one corner of a 3 of clubs. The Queen Prior was holding a 6 of diamonds in her hand, but in a very, very small hand, not in a very obvious way, which is kind of cool. Like at a glance.
That's what I'm suggesting. This could be signed and no one would notice. And then you do, anniversary waltz, and then when this would appear, it would be.
Oh,
surprise.
that's brilliant. So there you go. And so that's taken the anniversary idea even further. And if you really wanted to, we have a friend called Julian Yu here in Australia, and he once sent me a playing card that was blank, and he's like, no, shine a light through it. And he had actually made a silhouette of me inside this blank card. So when I held it up to the light, I saw myself. Nice. So there's ways to, obviously in cards have been brought out since.
No doubt. Do a Hofzinser anniversary.
Right.
No doubt, man. You get a Hofzinser anniversary waltz. And what about your card? Shine the light, and it's in between.
Oh, yeah. So what would be great is if you just use the light from your phone. They choose a card. You switch, double lift, whatever it might be, from your deck. You then shine a light through it and show that it's actually so you have the card. You shine your light from your phone. Then you turn it around and you show it's a blank face. They're holding up their card, and then you just put your flashlight to it, and they can then see their card through the light. Like something like a six of spades would be really prominent and look great through something like that.
But what we're suggesting for Drago is you could build that into that double-faced gimmick card. So then it's like, turn all the lights off at the wedding. Use this candle.
For that, you could even make it 4 revelations and build that into the other one, and just, and then do the torn corner, and then eventually you get 52 revelations built into one card, and then it's a wrap.
That's crazy. I like it. Well, goddamn. There you go. There you go, Drago. Now, it's only good advice if you use it. Okay, so that's crazy. All right, next, should we go to the next spitball?
Check.
I like this. Scotty P, I'm just going to read it out. Here's the idea. A piece of origami paper is balled up and then placed into the participant's hand and covered. They name an animal, and then they lift their hand to find that animal is made from the paper.
God, that's a good idea.
A great idea.
Oh my, that is so good.
So the effect... Yeah, so the effect that the spectator's feeling is you've just scrunched up some paper and then put it in their hand. Okay. So the first thing that I'm seeing is you obviously could do some kind of a switch as you get them to put their hand over and cover it, right? Perhaps?
Yeah, how about this?
As a method?
You take out a book of origami. So this is my origami book, and you flip through it and you show all the figures. At the end of the book is the paper. So you take a paper out. You're going to switch it behind the book. So you got your switcher ready to go. So you take the paper out, fold it up. You say, here, hold this. And then your book is a Svengali pad. So you just say, so you're going to pick one of the figures. Anyone you like, just say stop. Oh, you picked the square. Open. Yeah. And so, so they apparently have a free choice of the figure which appears in their hand.
There's also that one where you have like the crane and you tap it around, like you sort of bounce it around, and it ends up. There's this, so you could also like do that as a kicker at the end. I used to do a thing where I took a playing card, I split it. I used to have it on my fridge, but I think I lost it in the move. It might be in that bowl up there. But what I did was I took a playing card and I split it so it was easy to fold, and then I folded it into a butterfly. And what I would do is I would just do a simple kind of like this, squeeze, and then drop a butterfly in her hand.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and then I got to keep the butterfly because it took 2 seconds to fold. Like I wasn't a big
using the origami crane takes the switch out of the equation, perhaps. Like using this auto fold device, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Have you ever held one of those? Have you experimented with one?
Where do you find that? Is the next question. Hopefully Piper Magic, a fine sponsor of the Magic guys.
Yeah,
but
no doubt.
I might look
I'm
for
thinking
that.
like SEO Magic was the one distributing this effect. SEO Magic.
Yeah.
Mary Yidid had them for a while, if I'm not mistaken, in the States.
If there was a way to, learn how it works and then also, I guess, play around with other reveals as well.
Man, the effect is so organic.
For reference, that's what I would fold.
Yeah,
nice. Actually, I wonder if I'm pretty sure I still have. I'm just going to grab it really quick.
Does anyone remember the frog prints from Michael Close?
No.
So
That was
my
also gonna-
sister.
Sorry, go on.
It's an origami card frog.
Yeah.
My sister is actually very good at origami, so I asked her to take a whole deck and actually make me, once it stopped focusing on my head, actually make me little cranes out of playing cards. So she would split them into half, split the deck because it's too hard to fold it into a crane. And so I have a whole bag of these, and I just make them appear from flash paper or whatever, just to be as a little cute moment. But
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
with Nick's method combined of the card and then that's beautiful.
Yeah.
I'll also make mention that with regards to folding it, there is a really cool effect using a crane. Danny Garcia in the Loop project that was originally released by Masika. It doesn't actually use any loops to do this effect. But if you did look it up, he's got a way of folding up a bill, right? Which you could use any sort of folding apparatus, whether it be paper or a bill or something of that nature. Anyway, when you fold it up, you as you hold it, the wings actually flap as well. So just a little something for you to add to that. But yeah, it's kind of cool. But I think ultimately, if you were gonna do this in a way that becomes a worker, I kind of feel that Scotty P would want to do it like maybe with a Post-it pad. You know what I mean? Like a Post-it.
Yeah, something you can keep on you easily.
Yeah, because it would be pretty easy to swap something like that, because you could have it attached to the back or whatever else, and you ask them to take off a piece and they bundle it all up. You go, cool, hold that in your hand, and when they open it up, it's a sort of revelation. And I also bring that up because if you want to do it in a smaller scale version, you can also get Svengali Post-it pads as well. So just a little variation on that.
Yeah. That's going to be a great way to have it on you. Yeah, instead of the big origami Svengali force deck.
Yeah.
So combining the digital force bag and using the phone as an apparatus to switch the folded paper behind is what I was thinking too. So all you got to do is have the folded thing here. You say, here, fold this paper into a square, and I'm going to need a number. I've got 20 origami figures. Here, hold this. I've got 20 origami figures. Give me a number from 1 to 20. And you pick the dog. You swipe to the dog, and you've done the switch in that fashion. So there's an avenue that would allow you to do the trick with just the phone and 2 pieces of paper.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know how creative Scotty P is, so I have no doubt we're going to see a video of him doing that soon, which we're going to keep an eye out for.
What a great effect. Congratulations, Scotty P. And thank you for sharing that idea.
And of course, being our animator, like the idea of having that, whatever he folds, animate. Oh, crazy good bit of kit. Thanks for sharing that, Scotty P.
Yeah.
God, I'm going to have that on Murphy's next week. I'm getting that shit out.
Absolutely. Now I saw one, where was it? Someone said, I don't like Rubik's Cubes, but where is it? Okay. It basically said, I'm not a fan of Rubik's Cubes, but how about doing a coin-thru-cube was the question. Even though I've lost it.
Was that with the dice trick?
Oh, here it is. Ed, yeah. Not a big fan of Rubik's Cubes, but how about a coin-thru-cube effect? I'm pretty sure you might even be able to just push a coin through a cube because of the slots in it.
And someone was describing this trick the other day. 2 die are set on a table and a cylinder covers the die. A coin is vanished and appears between the die in the cylinder.
Nice.
I've never seen this trick. I just read it. I think maybe Richard Kaufman mentioned it on a Greater Magic forum or something like that. What a cool trick. So maybe something like that. The coin appears under the cube magically.
Yeah. Well, if you had a small enough coin, I wonder if you could load a coin into just one of the segments of a cube, because you just pop off the colors.
I'll tell you what I thought when I read this. It was folding coin in cube. So if there was a folding $50 in one of the die, and then as it was maybe lifted up in the tube, it would expand inside.
I think the way I do it, I would trifold or even a half folded cube in the gaps of the cube. You take the cube, you put your finger on top like this to hold that coin down. Ask them to hold out their hand and give it a shake, and it just comes out straight up. Like it's just the cleanest penetration of the coin going through cube. You just give it a shake, and it just
everyone should take a look at Bic coin. Bic coin is very much this effect with a Bic lighter.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah.
What if you could what if you color a coin? So then when it passes, so you could do like the classic how you'd normally sit a coaster on a glass and you have the coin, you know, sort of pinched there. What, Doug?
Scotty P's comment.
I spat my coffee when I read that.
All right, let me read this. What about a card that turns into a watch?
Yeah, let's spitball that horrible idea.
That would be unique. Yes. What I was going to say was, so that old idea of having a coaster, a cup coaster, you know, onto a cup, and you've got the coin hidden in there, and then you vanish a coin, hit the thing, and it goes through, right, into the glass. What if you had a colored coin, and you have your Rubik's Cube, and you say pick a color, and they say red, so you put the red face down on the coaster with the glass underneath, and then you make the coin vanish, and you go, watch, when it goes through the cube and into the glass, now it comes out red, because that's the color you chose.
What about a poker chip? Because they're multicolored.
Yeah, fuck my idea. What about a poker chip?
Well, I think like the way you can do is you can start with like a white poker chip, and then you can do a whole routine where every time it touches a side, it changes color. So you can just do heaps of color changes with your coin work.
Okay, that does seem more organic.
And then do like a whole like, oh, look, the green side and the red side are opposites. But look, if I go green and I push, it falls through and becomes red. So now the colors make sense because coins aren't colors really. But if you use
that actually might be the first good, like the first organic use of those Murphy chips that came out. Those poker chips.
The sucker punch
makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it could be a routine where, yeah, like you just, when it touches, it changes color, or you put it on top, wave your hand. And the idea is that the colors of the cube then influence the poker chip as opposed to the coin, because the coins is supposed to be silver or gold.
Yeah, well, Ed likes my idea. He said, I like the idea of the coin color change. So, you know, even my dog likes it.
Your dog's down too. Yeah.
Thanks, buddy. Oh yeah, I never considered coins and Rubik's cubes.
That's why we spitball.
Although there was one video I made. This is not a Rubik's cube; it's a fidget spinner, but it's same colors as a cube. And I made a video where I pushed a coin into it as part of my Trick a Day May, and the coin vanished. And it got so much attention because people were like, "Oh, you just pulled it out of the back of it," but then there's still no coin at the end of the video. And then I made a second one just to taunt the people that thought they knew the method, and I used a different method. And so that was coin going through, but then just vanishing into oblivion.
Somebody had card in Rubik's Cube. Does that ring a bell? Card in Rubik's Cube?
I've not seen that. But, here we go. Stephen Brundage and many others do a card corner inside a cube block.
There it is.
Okay.
There you go.
Verification from Thomas Conger. Merci.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know about starting to take apart a Rubik's Cube. That seems to be an uncomfortable moment, in my opinion.
Well, the cube, I just so happen to have a whole bunch here because I give them away in my.
Do you how many cubes do you buy at a time?
I think 12. Just like eggs, I buy them.
Do you have a preferred cube to buy, to give away, or that you use at all?
I buy these from Henry Harris.
Yeah, those are good ones.
Direct from his website. Yeah.
How do we make him bigger?
Oh, right.
I got him right here. Boink.
Yeah. There you go. So you go to Henry Harris's website, you go to Cube Refills or whatever it's called, and you can choose how many you want to buy at once. I also buy the bags that he sells to put the cubes in because it perfectly fits 2 cubes next to each other. Anyway, but what I was going to say, Doug, is it's very easy to just pop out a a piece of a cube. It's not like
yeah. Okay.
I'm going to break it or whatever. And now you've got this nice little slot that
Yeah,
can,
you're right. I
fit
was
something.
thinking you'd have to pull the actual cube
Yeah.
off the thing, but you don't have to
And
do
for the listeners, it's the centerpiece, because a centerpiece never changes in a cube, and that can actually be removed, just for the listeners out there.
Yeah, that's the stuff.
Yeah. You know what? I might
I knew that. I have some of his tricks. I should have known that.
I might play with that this weekend when I do Theater of Magic.
Yeah.
A little corner piece.
Well, okay, here's the.
I'll report back.
for
I'll
you.
film it. If I do it, I'll film it because I film every show, and I'll play it back next week. How's that sound?
If you could make it not a card trick, that would impress me. And if you want to spitball that, that's what I'm up for now. Like, what appears in there besides? I guess the coin would be a good one, right?
Crap. Yeah.
Design coin.
Right. Okay, well let's spitball quickly then. What else could appear inside the cube? So it's a very small, like a piece of paper could.
Here's an idea. If you took a small coin and said, I'm going to sign one side, here, you sign the other side.
Mhm.
And then that coin vanishes. And then when you pop the cube open, the initials they see are yours. And then as you pull that out, the secret maneuver is made to bring their initials into view. So it would be a double sign coin vanishes, appears that way. I guess we're going back to the original thing. But
Yeah. Kieran Johnson did a routine in which that piece that you remove is actually signed, and it appears attached to the cube, but inside of a glass bottle, like facing not the opening of the bottle. So that's a little something to think about.
that
too.
guy's a legit genius. Kieran
He
Johnson.
is
Oh my,
out of control.
He really is.
Yeah.
Love Kieran. I jam with him occasionally, and he's just like,
Oh, Scotty
What is
P
he?
has another good one.
Angle Z. Yeah, so Angle Z is like I guess the classic one that we're kind of thinking. So if I take a corner and I fold it up, yeah, this cube hole is pretty goddamn big that it would be pretty easy to fit it inside. So that's pretty straightforward, I think.
Also think about this. How many outs do you have now? You actually
Oh
index-
yeah.
you
Is
can
this an index now?
You can index your entire cube
yeah.
and
Holy
put
moly.
so many different pieces of paper in there and just go like, oh, name one of these 6 things, if not 9 to the power, like 30.
So yeah, 19, 27, 36, 45, 54. You can have a whole deck in here,
Yeah,
Nick.
I know. I'm an index pig.
That's got to be a thing.
I oink and do indexes. That's my thing.
Whoa. This just got crazy.
Yeah, boy. Scotty P came at us with another one. Should we read that one out about the headphones? I'll bring it up.
So yeah, please. So this is a trick that Scotty does do because I've seen this video already. You place the special wire in a headphone cord, the type of wire that when it reacts to heat, it goes back into a pre-made shape. He goes, I used hot coffee to activate it for the reveal. What would you put the wire in and how would you reveal it? So basically he's saying if you have headphones that the cord can then turn into a shape, what would you use that to reveal and how would you heat it?
Scotty P, you need to start directing your attention to becoming a professional magic product producer. 2 ideas in a row that are just bangers. Are you kidding me? Using memory wire and a headphone cord?
Oh, we look at that. Our latest subscriber. Who is that? Murphy's Magic? Block.
God, I love. Does it work? Did he say he's doing?
Yeah, he has a video on that. I've seen it.
with
Okay.
the wire forms into with the cord on it.
Is there a way?
I love this.
What type of shape? Okay, let's try gauge this. The length of some headphones, and then it would go shorter and shorter and shorter the more heat you apply to it. I'm wondering if you could have it so you use a type of eggy force bag sort of thing, if you know what I mean. And they choose a artist and they tap a song and the song starts playing and only they can hear it, right? On the headphones. And then as the heat's applied, you hold up the headphone wire, and as it comes together like this, it starts to take shape and spell whoever they're listening to.
Ooh, yeah, that's good.
That is Magic for Humans good.
That's a great effect. No matter what you do with it, you can't go wrong here. There's so like,
Yeah.
I mean, again, I'm going back to digital force bag. It's a perfect tie-in with the phone. You know, you got your headphones
if you somehow integrated it with the app of sorts in which it was on disguised as Apple Music or Spotify, and what happens is they scroll through, you hold the phone face down, scroll through, tap once, and listen to the song. Do you know the song? And they're listening to it, and then you apply heat, and it spells Lizzo. Sick.
Or maybe it's just a simple image that forms that denotes the song in question. You know,
shine bright like a diamond, and it makes a diamond.
Yeah, right.
Sick.
Yeah.
Would you and when you're saying and you apply heat, like how are you applying heat? Do you think to the headphones?
That's the question.
That's interesting, because a part of me is thinking like if you were holding it, that you could apply heat from each end that would then conduct its way through. Perhaps. Yeah.
Or if you're just in Australia in general right now.
Just
I know how I would do it for social media, and I would have to like not have audio playing, but I would just have like a heat source.
Have a hair dryer.
A hair dryer, some kind of heat source. And then I would just hold the thing and kind of move it over the heat source as it came together, as it blows up over the wire. That's how I would do it.
Says flash paper is the best. If that would work with the headphone casing.
Perhaps.
This is good. You guys put in how you think you would apply the heat. Or to hear. But
I would probably have to identify the amount of heat required in order to get that. I would have to understand what type of heat is required. Does it need to reach 30 degrees Celsius, 20? What does it need to reach?
Well, it's very fast. Like when you use the memory wire, the one with the card reveal, it's literally just like you have a lighter. You literally just go like that, and it goes. It's pretty quick.
Probably do the same thing, using that. It would be great if you just sort of did it with your hand, and as your hand went over it, as it went,
little
as
pocket
it came across,
maybe.
Yeah, without burning the rubber that's insulates the wire.
That's gonna burn it.
Yeah.
Or maybe is it that you have the headphones like it's in your shirt or whatever, and it's come out and it's just chilling here, and then you do the reveal, and then as you take them out, you show it's already squiggled, and you just take it out and show that.
When it's squiggled / activated, can I pull it apart and put it back together, and it still maintains its shape?
Well, so how it works is you can retwist it to be whatever you want, and it's just that when you heat it, it will always come back to the memory it was.
No, I understand, but like when it's activated, if I pull it and then like let me.
Oh, when it's hot, you're saying.
Once it's activated and it has its shape, if I tension it and then untension it, will it go back to the shape that we originally had?
Yeah, I imagine if there's still heat being applied, it would do that. I like it. Spitballing. This is what we're doing. Also, thank you, Pasha. He also mentioned that with the Rubik's Cube thing, there isn't actually 54 sides to a cube, because obviously each one, like just because there's a different side to a cube, two of them are still part of the same cavity. So there really isn't. So it's really 6, 12, 18, I guess. 18 cavities to.
Oh man. Yeah, you can use a genuine playlist and force this thing. I have ideas. Yeah. Scotty, we'll chat in the Discord. It'll be great.
Damn.
Yeah, we'll chat in the Discord. I've just thought of a way you could do this ungimmicked with your phone and force everything. Yes, I just figured it out then. It's a good one.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Nick, when are you going to make some new videos, man?
I am in the process. I'm going to try and film 10 brand new videos. So one of the things I love doing most on the socials is doing magic challenges, where people will message me and say, do a trick with chicken nuggets, do a trick with whatever it might be. So I've hired a guy to start managing my social media so that he does all of that stuff and I could just focus on the creative. And that's why I've done that. I'm trying to make space and time to actually do more creative stuff like this. So yeah, count me in.
All right. When are we going to see one?
Well, I want to do 10 videos done and release like one a week. And then as people are giving me suggestions, start producing more and more. So I'm sort of like doing seasons, if you will. So that way it's a lot more consistent.
Nick's over there working smart, not hard. He's going to batch shoot everything, ship it off to Dylan, and then watch the views come in.
That's the idea.
This is what you can do when you work enough gigs to pay for a team.
Yeah. Yeah, but Dylan's doing great. He obviously does a lot of stuff for us at Magic Guys, and he's now managing my stuff. Great kid. Thank you, Dylan, for all your service. Let's press on. I see one here from Thomas, which actually this effect already exists. So we just touch upon this one real quick. Thomas says, what about something where the effect you tear a card in half and both pieces are fused together with signatures on them? Axel Hecklau, we spoke about this last week, who has an effect like this. And it's a beautiful piece where you can tear them, put them back together, even mismatch. So one's facing forward, one's facing backward, and it's signed and it gets put together that way. That's a really good bit of kit. So I would suggest looking at Axel Hecklau's routine. I believe it's called Fusion, but it's spelled with a Z if memory serves. But Axel Hecklau, amazing creator. Scope that one out. That answers that one pretty well.
Dope. And Blake Voigt has one as well. I think he sells it as a download where it's actually this way. Like instead of going the top half and bottom half of a card, it's actually vertical split in half. So the signature ends up here and here. Yeah. Doug, is that ringing a bell to you?
It does, from Blake Voigt. I was thinking Siamese Twins does that too, but it might not be torn and restored. I think it is.
Okay, I have an idea. This is one that has always perplexed me, and I haven't found a good thing yet. Every single event we go to, corporate event, everyone is holding wine glasses.
Okay.
So I've always been trying to find, like, what is the best routine you could use where instead of getting them, because I'm always doing routines and I'm like, all right, I'm going to need your hands for a second. And then they sit down their wine glass or they give it to someone else and then they participate. But I've been trying to think, what is a great effect where like I can just incorporate the stems of the glass into the routine, or you know what I'm saying? How do you involve it to make it organic? What do you got next?
There is a marketed effect that was maybe 5 years ago now. And it is a torn card where you tear the center of it and then you link it.
The souvenir.
The souvenir. Thank you.
It's called. Yeah. So that is definitely possible. It's definitely possible. But then are you going to carry the setup for that?
But maybe this too. Himber ring. You know, it's you could link a finger ring onto the stem. It's a little too perfect. You'd probably want to structure this with some other props involved, but it's a great visual, in my opinion.
Nice.
What about?
Actually, that's great. That's great.
What about like using rings like Macedo rings? You know, the small scale linking rings, and you can just sort of and then show it's attached and go through the bottom. So it's a penetration that goes through, but you just come clear of it. So there's another little idea if you do rove with rings.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, the idea of if someone has an empty glass, them holding it this way, and then you do something impossible with the stem for sure. Yeah. Now that I'm thinking about it, because the only thing I was really could come up with at the time was like, you know, two wine glasses next to each other with a band going around them. You know, you do some rubber band magic, but then there's also the really great wine effect where you break the stem of it, right? Like I've seen Michael Amar teach it in his lecture.
Yeah.
Sam Angelico teaches it in his lecture where you accidentally bump a glass and you break the bottom of it off. Show the bottom, put it back on again.
That was a Daryl trick.
Oh, Daryl. Yeah, of course. Oh, of course, because Michael's doing it. It's someone else's. Isn't that right?
just saying it was Daryl's trick. Maybe not with a wine glass, though. I think Daryl just had a regular... When I saw him lecture on it, he just kept a regular bottom of a glass in his hand and would just knock it out.
Yeah. David Penn had an effect where he would do like a bending wine stem as well. which would
Yeah, that's true. Maybe I should just look into that kind of thing where it is like a one-off effect you do in the room for sure.
yeah.
I was trying to think of like a, something that's impromptu that's like a go-to. You can sort of do it every group
Yeah.
with the stuff you maybe already have. But
Carson's drink, where you can levitate the wine glass, is also a really cool effect. The gimmick's super cool. It takes up no real estate in your pocket. Like it is a very good effect, and you can literally levitate it out of someone's hands if you wanted to. Like it's very strong, and hand it back to them with liquid inside.
yeah. My buddy Christopher Wayne is learning that at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm still not fully satisfied. I still feel like there's something that could be used with the glass that's like just impromptu but a banger. But
what do you do rubber bands?
Rubber
When you
bands,
wrote-
yeah.
Well, what if you
Yes.
got them to hold their wine glass top and bottom, and you go, look, it's on the wine glass. I can't get it off, blah, blah, blah. And then go through the wine glass?
Yeah, that's good.
Not really. It's not good.
It's like okay. It's okay. Yeah. There's one card trick I like.
Just because we can doesn't mean we should.
That's the thing, right? Yeah. Like there is a card trick where you have a red ace and a black ace. You put one on the bottom. So they sign a card, then you show red ace goes on the bottom, put the glass on top, show the black ace, put it on top of the glass, put the whole deck on top, and then they penetrate through. Right? This one goes to the top of the deck. The one that's down here goes to the bottom of the deck, and then the one under the wine glass is their selected card. Maybe I should start doing that a bit more. But the souvenir, you know what? I'm gonna look into the souvenir because it is a really good effect that I just never took the time to really delve into and learn. But that could be
one avenue with a rubber band might be if it could be marked in some way and it vanishes and appears around the stem surprisingly. Like this is going to be smaller than the base. So it's an obstacle for the object to appear on. And maybe there it is, and now it's there. Could be a visual penetration. But here's what's going to make this trick better. If this isn't a rubber band, if it's something organic, that makes sense in the environment, maybe it's a napkin. You could take the napkin, tear the center out, have them sign the center or something like that, or they hold the middle, and then next thing you know, it's the circle of the napkin has enveloped the.
That's cool. And then of course there is also David Penn's chop cup he brought out, which is using a wine glass. It has to be a new empty one. But that's I did purchase that, but I just never, it didn't feel good hitting the lip of a wine glass like on a table to do like loading, and it felt weird. We'll come back to it. The souvenir I'm going to look into. I like Doug's ideas. I like now that I think about it, you could do, because there is a routine I do with a rubber band where I get them to put their hand out like this, and I open the rubber band up and put it around their hand. So it's like, so the rubber band opens, I put it through their hand, and then I seal it back at the top.
That's so cool.
But maybe a wine glass is cool because you have it sideways. You do that, and then once you're past the point of safety, you could have someone put their other hand on the other end. So it seems like it's just gone around this, and then it's left hanging there. Maybe that's, you know what? That's what I'm going to play with. That's got to be worthy of a like and share. I'm happy with that. We can all go home now. That's great. All right. Was there one? Was there one more? Is there something you've been perplexed by, Doug?
Every day I have magical challenges that enter my brain.
Yeah.
Is there something that's unsolved for me that
I thought you were going to go every day. What's this lump? And he takes off his shirt.
I mean, the older I get, the more I feel that way. It's like, oh man, I do a new production every morning.
Yeah.
I did want to mention, I saw a comment asking about the Winter Carnival of Magic and what and when I'll be there. I'll be there and active all weekend long. Aaron and I are arriving Wednesday. My event is Thursday evening, and then Friday and Saturday I'll be enjoying the convention like everyone else. So I missed that comment earlier, and I'm answering it now.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, you're really on the circuit. Are you planning to, like, is there an amount of conventions and things that you're allowing yourself to do, or are you just seeing what comes in?
Just take it as it comes. Past this one, I'm going to an event with some of the guys from the pod here. Jimmy and Bob will be meeting up at another event in Arkansas, the Cavalcade of Magic. But I'm not actively pursuing these things. People call me, and if I'm available, I say, yeah, I'm happy to be doing the Winter Carnival. It's a great event, especially this one this week.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, catch Doug there, or be square. And I'll do it in one show, I think. I'm going to play around with something appearing inside the cube. I'll film it, and I'll report back next week. Yeah, that's it. All right. So I think, Nick, you've had some great ideas today. So I feel like it's time for you to do the final word today. How do you feel?
Great.
Are you feeling finally wordily?
You got this.
I'm
Here we
feeling
go.
finally. So, friends, thank you all for being part of the show and listening. I think it's also really important that we acknowledge that we are a community, and we do share ideas, and we do them respectfully, and we do them all with the intention of propagating magic forward in the best possible way. So, guys, thank you so much for sharing your ideas. More importantly, trusting us with them. So please, if you any ideas you listen to or take on board, respectfully jump on the Discord, credit the people who were involved in sharing them. We all want to work together and make the best magic possible. Thanks for listening. We'll see you guys next week.
Thanks for listening. It's time for us to disappear now. But we'll see you again on the next episode of The Magic Guys.